Society has convinced us that to be powerful, you need to be the loudest voice in the room. But what if the quietest people were actually the most powerful? What if the trait you've been constantly told is a weakness is actually your greatest strength? Today, we're breaking the myth that being quiet means being weak or invisible. Because if you've ever been told you're too quiet or that you should speak up more, this video will change the way you see yourself. It's time to uncover the hidden superpower that's been within you all along, waiting to be recognized and embraced. Let's start with a scene that might feel familiar. You're in a group, maybe a meeting, a classroom, or even a family dinner. And while everyone's talking over each other, raising their voices, trying to dominate the conversation, you're sitting quietly. You're not tuning out. You're observing, listening deeply, noticing things. And then it happens. Someone looks your way and says, "You're so quiet today," as if your silence needs to be explained or justified. What they don't realize is that while they were performing, you were doing something far more powerful. You were listening, you were thinking, you were feeling, and you were processing the room. In a world that rewards noise and instant reactions, the ability to pause and reflect is a quiet form of rebellion and a remarkable strength. So why does society keep getting this wrong? We live in a culture that confuses loudness with leadership and quick replies with intelligence. We've been trained to believe that confidence looks like volume, dominance, charisma. But history tells us a different story. Some of the most powerful leaders and changemakers in history were deeply quiet by nature. Abraham Lincoln, a man of few words but immense impact, was known for his measured responses and profound listening skills. Rosa Parks, whose refusal to give up her seat changed the trajectory of civil rights in America, didn't need to shout to spark a revolution. Mahatma Gandhi led a nation with peaceful resistance and quiet conviction. In the modern world, people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett lead with calm, thoughtful strategy, not noise. These individuals understood something that our culture often forgets. True power doesn't come from dominating the conversation. It comes from the clarity of your thoughts and the purpose behind your actions. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Scientific research backs this up. Studies show that quiet individuals often possess higher emotional intelligence. They're more tuned into the emotions of others. They notice the subtle shift in tone, the flicker of discomfort, the pauses that say more than words. While louder personalities may be focused on making their point, quiet people are reading between the lines. They pick up on micro-expressions, shifts in body language, and the undercurrent of mood in the room. They have the gift of presence. And in that presence is awareness, empathy, and insight that others miss. Think about the last group conversation you were in. Maybe it was chaotic or fast-paced, with everyone rushing to speak. But you were the one who noticed when someone looked hurt, or uncomfortable, or withdrawn. You were the one who sensed that something wasn't being said. That's not being shy or socially awkward. That's emotional genius. It's a level of social perception that can't be taught in a textbook. And here's another truth that doesn't get talked about enough. When quiet people finally do speak, it changes the room. Why? Because their words are measured, intentional, rare. They speak not to fill space, but to add value. They've built a reputation for only contributing when it matters. So when they do, people listen. Their silence has weight. Their voice has gravity. They've mastered the art of creating space. Space for others to feel seen. Space for ideas to unfold. Space for reflection and meaning. And in today's always on, always loud world, that space is sacred. But perhaps the most profound trait of quiet people is something even deeper: resilience. Quiet people have often spent years navigating a world that doesn't always understand them. They've been overlooked, underestimated, misunderstood, And yet, through it all, they've learned how to stay centered. They've learned how to recharge through solitude, how to reconnect with their inner world. While others are drained by constant stimulation, quiet individuals draw strength from stillness. They're not afraid to be alone with their thoughts, because they know that's where their clearest insights emerge. In the quiet, they find clarity. In the silence, they build strength. And this inner world becomes their anchor when the outer world feels chaotic. They don't need applause to feel valid. They don't need noise to feel seen. They've built a calm, confident resilience that's deeply rooted in self-awareness. So if you've ever been told you're too quiet, I want you to hear me now. Your quiet nature isn't something you need to fix or outgrow. It's not a limitation. It's a superpower. You have a unique gift that this noisy world desperately needs: the ability to listen deeply, to reflect thoughtfully, to communicate with meaning and purpose. Quiet strength is not just real strength. It's rare and it's powerful, because the most beautiful symphonies aren't just made of sound. They're made of space, silence, and intentional notes. Your presence is that pause between the noise. Your mind is the place where the next great idea is waiting to be born. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need to perform to be valuable. The world is finally beginning to realize that being loud isn't the same as being right, and being quiet isn't the same as being weak. So take up space in your own quiet way. And remember, the world doesn't just need louder voices, it needs wiser ones. And that, my friend, is exactly what you bring.